remember there was an episode of The Golden Girls where one of them had like banged this old guy and then he died and then he was like in the bed dead.
Yeah, it was probably the horror one.
Yeah, probably old horrors. Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of Nightmare Road. I, of course, am your host, Deacon CF.
What's that mean?
Oh, CF? Oh, let me look at it in a dictionary. Cack-fack. And I am here with my co-host, LS Lame Syndrome.
True. I am with you. So.
Big tips. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about an individual that's kind of hard to put into words. We're kind of continuing our true crime of people that are monsters. When you look at them at first sight, you'd be like, is he? Like, I don't think so. You know, fucking monsters. So we're going to talk about the one, the only, Lorne Armstrong. Take it away, Lorne.
Lorne Armstrong. One of the stupidest people on the planet.
Yep. So this guy, well, let's see his talents. Okay, he's good looking, and this is not me just saying it. This is like one time he listed off. He listed his best qualities. He says, great looking, not good looking, great looking, incredible singer.
You make me feel,
amazing dancer. Amazing carpenter. Great at business.
Yep.
Good at driving truck.
Yep.
And great at like caring for others or something stupid like that. It's something dumb like that.
Something stupid.
Okay, so when did you first find out about this individual, Lorne Armstrong?
About him in general, I was in high school. I would watch To Catch a Predator reruns on
What year
YouTube.
was that?
In high school?
Yeah.
I graduated in 2010.
Okay, let's see. 2010. How old was I in 2010? 44.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I would watch when I was in high school, and I thought it was so gross, but it was like entertaining because they made like the stupidest faces, and they always acted like they were, you know, they didn't know what was going on. Why am I here? I don't know. No,
that was an interesting show because you did see like a lot of these people squirm, right?
Mm-hmm.
When it's like, what are you doing here? And then they're like, or they would enter the house, right? And this is how Lorne is unique, is the fact that a lot of them entered the house and they're kind of like, hello, and then they're like, fuck, this guy's gonna take off running, so hurry up, go ahead and say something. I just spilled chocolate on my shirt, and then they would like leave.
Yeah,
you know, and then but not him. He like walked up to he's like happy, and he goes up and he answers the door. Hey, girl, and he goes in, and then she's like, you have to sit down. I have to sit down, and he sits down. He like crosses his legs, and he's comfortable, and you know, and he's just the time of his life.
Yeah, literally the happiest he's ever been.
Yeah, and he's and he's over there just squeaking like one of those dog chew toys. Like,
yep. Happiest he's ever been was in that room with someone he thought was 13.
So a 13-year-old. Do we have that clip?
Yes.
Hey, I'm glad you could come. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. How was your drive?
Terrible.
Really? How come?
Look how comfortable he is.
Well, look, we got these new chairs. You have to sit down.
I have to sit down?
Yeah,
This is
look.
what bothers me. Okay,
It's a massage chair.
This is the exact opposite of every predator that's been on. Even dumbass Jeff Stacy. He was like, oh, okay, sit at the bar. Okay.
I'm gonna go up and get ready, okay?
Okay.
Wait at the bar for like 5 minutes and then follow me up, okay?
Okay.
But you know, everybody's like stiff, and they're like, if you watch him, he walks into that house as if he lives there. You know, he opens
that's because the majority of the other perverts are just perverts. This one's a pervert and he's stupid.
And he's stupid. He might as well have closed the door with the kick. You know how some people would shut the door and, and they give it the little kick? He might as well have done that. Play it again. Look how comfortable he is just walking.
So comfortable. It was his house.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Really? How come?
Oh, actually, it was all right.
Oh. Well, look, we got these new chairs. You have to sit down.
I have to sit down?
Yeah, look. It's a massager
Oh my
chair.
God,
It
look at
vibrates
that.
when you press the buttons.
Look, oh my God.
Yeah, flip the switches.
Which one is it?
You can use either one of them. It tells you there's one for your butt, there's one for your lower back, and there's one for your upper back.
I just felt my
How
butt.
little his legs are, too.
I think.
You can pretty much tell the difference when you press all of
Holy,
them.
yep, that's my
That
butt.
feels so good, right?
So that's it. If you were to just watch the show, it was probably like, oh, it's just a prank show where this girl's uncle is coming in and he's like, oh, you know, like it's his birthday because it was his birthday. It's his birthday and he's going to hit the button and it's going to launch him into space. You know what I mean? Because he's behaving as if he knows her, right?
Yeah, it was his birthday when he got caught. Like how first of all, it's just embarrassing enough to be caught and like exposed on that type of thing, but then to sit there and be like, it's my birthday today. Like, that's so embarrassing.
So as you guys can see, he looks like a very friendly, like dopey individual. He looks like an idiot that you can like take advantage of him. Like, all right, this fucking idiot, I'm gonna trick him, you know, quickly, you know, find the card, and you're like over there shuffling.
Which you can. But
yeah, you can. You can trick him into a shuffle over the phone. Like you're like, okay, I'm shuffling the cards. Give me your credit card information, and if you lose, it's ace of spades. You're like, damn, it was 8. You know,
in the other part of this series, because most likely it's going to be more than one part. Yeah. He gave out his social security number
to multiple people.
Multiple people.
Know. Yeah.
He's just
not only his social, but also like information of his family members too.
Bank account numbers, passwords.
Yeah, bank account numbers, passwords, like voicemail passwords to his brother's phone, and it's like, oh boy.
You think that like his desperation, just kind of like hoping to stay, I guess, like relevant to the people that he's talking to?
I think he's just really stupid.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like at the same time, see, because like anybody can be really stupid, but not everybody's going to give out their social.
So you can be really stupid, but also not be very trusting, right? He's very stupid. He's and we'll get into that maybe, but he's a scammer's dream, those Indian scammers. For those of you that are like, all right, so what did he do? Why is he there? This was an individual who, you know, what the story was, this was an individual who had a company, right? Well, claimed it was his company.
Supposedly, yeah.
Supposedly was his company. And he went to go do work for an elderly couple. And she wanted, an addition done?
I think she
wanted a washing machine installed. And I think she wanted, like, an addition to the house, which included a roof. And you know, so this guy gets together, right? He gets his crew of friends. He gets Tony. He gets some other dumbass, one of his brothers. And then, you know, he asked for $30. Yeah, $30,000 up front, right? Which in some states, it's if you're going to do a job and they estimate that it's going to cost, like, let's say $60,000 in this case, $60,000, giving them half up front is reasonable because it covers material. In other states, they make you price it out. Then you pay them that. And then when they're done, you know, you give them the rest of the money. You give them their payment. So to get started with the project. So anyway, so this individual asked for $30,000. And out of this $30,000, you know, he was supposed to go get materials and get all the stuff to start the thing. But he doesn't get materials. Instead, he distributes the money to his siblings, right? And he starts getting, and I'm thoroughly convinced that the stuff that he got, like the material, was from the dump, because he had wood. And then they said, Betty said that one of his brothers, which was Roy, was the only one that was cutting wood. And she said that she does an interview with this, I forget his name, is it the Pope something? He was like asking her questions, and she said that the brother Roy was cutting wood, and Tony and Lorne were just smoking cigarettes watching him. And then after that, Roy stopped showing up. He just didn't go the next day. And then they showed up and they were just walking around. And eventually they stopped showing up. She gave him 30 grand. And then she was like, what the fuck happened? Why are you not working on my house? And he says, well, I need the other 30. And she's like, no, like, what'd you do with the 30,000 I gave you? He says, well, I paid my mortgage and I gave it to my siblings and I paid. So he spent all the money, right?
Yep.
The reason why she went to go ask is because she said, do you have a list of the things? Because she's like, this guy's not getting material. So do you have a list of all the things that you need? And he goes, yeah. And you've done this before. And he goes, yep. So then she goes to the hardware store and she tries to order, what he asked for. And they told her, like, so what do you need this for? She says, oh, I'm putting this up for my roof. And then they told her, like, lady, it's going to rain in your house. He says, what you need is, water and ice. So for those of you that are out of the loop with like construction and stuff like that, like, let's say you have to reconstruct. I've rebuilt the roof on my home, right? So because it was like fucked up. So I had to do a lot of work to this house and I had to tear up the whole roof. I took off the shingles, I tore off the beams that were there because they were kind of rotted. So then I had to replace it all. And then what you put before you put down your shingles is something called water and ice. And it's a sealant, right? It's this mat that goes over and it's waterproof, right? And then you kind of attach that to your roof and then you put the shingles on top of it. And then that's what prevents water and moisture from getting into your house. He didn't get any of that. He didn't get any drip edge. He didn't get water ice. I don't even think he got shingles. So then she ended up like telling him, like, hey, this guy, said that you don't, basically like it's going to rain in my house. And then he's like, have you ever put up a roof before? And he said, I put up a bond at my uncle's. So then she said, okay, well, use the money that I gave you to buy the materials. And then he's like, well, I don't have the money. I paid my mortgage and blah, blah, blah. I'm going to need another 30,000. She said, no. So then he stopped showing up. And then she's like, where the fuck did he go? So she went to go look for him. Turns out he fled the state.
Yep.
So he got his shit. He borrowed a truck. Turns out that truck wasn't even his. It was later in the call it revealed that it was his friend Tony's. So he got a truck, drove to Nashville, where he was gonna start his new life as a country music singer.
A country music star.
And he was staying at this apartment with a little bit of money that he had. And he decided that he was going to get no furniture, nothing at all, just a computer. And he proceeds to go to a country music chat room and proceeds to talk to all the underage decoys that were in that chat room because they were launching a sting for chat rooms. So they had 3 decoys in there that were underage, and it lists their name, 13 years old, and he talked to all 3. So he ended up latching onto one of them. So the other, did he latch onto them, or were they like, hey, we got one, so just kind of back off?
I think he started, this one was like responding quicker or something.
Yeah.
And so they kind of just like hooked him, and they were like, yeah, the other one's like, don't even.
Yeah, so just kind of back off. So how does this friendly individual begin talking to this lady? Was he like, hey, oh shit, you're 13, never mind, I'm dyslexic, I thought you were 31, goodbye, block?
No.
What the?
No, he, well, you want to see it?
Yeah, let's bring it up here. And his screen name was Lorne A20014. Hi. Age, sex, location, please.
This next thing is when he should have just gone away, because she said, hi, 13 female Kentucky.
Wow. You're just a young one, huh?
Oh.
A little cutie, too. If nobody would talk to you, sweetheart, you could talk to me. I'm a good guy. I have 2 nieces your age.
Okay. She says, really? What's your ASL?
Well, I should say I had 2 nieces your age when I lived in Washington State. They were your age. They're a little older now, but it still feels to me like they're your age.
Sorry.
What's the matter?
Nothing. Sound just like yeah, so at that point he should have
Look.
walked off. But he didn't. He liked it. And he kept it.
You know, he randomly does that.
Ew, yeah.
So, he proceeds to talk to her like this. And then an hour in.
So this is 2 hours in. Because at an hour in, she was still like a little uncomfortable or whatever because she's a child, right?
Yeah, she's playing that role.
So this is 2 hours in, I believe.
Promise me you won't do it until you're ready to, okay?
Okay.
Did my cam go through for you?
No.
Hi again. Low.
Oh, hi. Okay.
Okay. Oh my god, what the fuck? Okay.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that at this point he turned on his webcam and then he showed his pippy.
So at this point, this is already 2 hours in, right? But obviously they were talking about things before that because he says it does hurt a girl the first time, which to have a conversation, which you can't even like at an age like his, he was 36 at the time that he was talking to her.
Yeah.
You cannot have an actual conversation with a 13-year-old. You have nothing in common.
Yeah, you have nothing. What the fuck are you gonna talk about?
Like, you can't. There's no way that anybody like our age, because me, you, and him were all around the same age. There's no way that we would be able to talk to a child about normal things. It's like kid stuff.
Yeah,
and at this talk about kid things.
And at this point, he had showed his penis on cam. He was doing this thing where he was sitting there just butthole naked, and he was wearing a hat, and at some point he walks away from the camera and he bends over in front of the camera and then shows a chocolate starfish, and then
I don't know if this was the first day, but he does do that.
Well, he bends over and then he kind of like smiles and he just looks over his shoulder. Then he was like walking and then he like, I'm just gonna leave my cam on. So and he left his cam on every single fucking day, just there.
He would leave it on and tell her, my cam is on for whenever you want to watch me.
Yeah, so the camera was always rolling. So anyway, so he proceeds to do that. And the conversation is disgusting, Mr. Penis, Miss Vagina,
even in this one where it's 2 hours in, he asks, have you ever touched yourself down there?
Okay.
Girls
all right, so
down there. Jesus.
Because it feels good to them. Love.
Absolutely not. I don't even
know. They rub it.
Okay.
So anyway. So wait. Go back. There's a key point right there.
Okay.
So obviously the situation, this kind of stuff was not reciprocated, right? Mm-hmm. So he says, okay, but you're curious about how it feels having sex, right? So he's doing these things, and where he's like, now you're getting curious, now you're doing this, basically just projecting these things. And as the decoy, she has to respond like, yeah. And for those of you that think that they were having these deep conversations, it was basically just Lorne talking to himself. He would leave this long, like,
they had over 400 pages of
that's a lot
chat log.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, there's over 400 pages of the chat log, and the majority of the time her only responses were K, no, yes, if you want, cool, KEWL.
And there was a point where I guess they were kind of like fucking with him, like during the and then she's like, I'm going to a party with my ex Derek, where I don't like him, and then he immediately gets jealous of a 13-year-old boy. But anyway, so that happens, right? He says disgusting things. He proceeds to show his penis to what he believes was a 13-year-old girl. He's saying disgusting things. He's talking about how he wants to take a camera and then photograph themselves during. He starts making plans to kidnap her. He's going to drive over there and all this kind of shit. And this is a person that, he's a fucking idiot, for lack of a better term. Like, he's an idiot, right? With a lot of things. Like, he's stupid. He falls for scams. He falls for cat. He does all these things, but just like Dustin McFetridge that we covered on the last Predator thing. The one thing that he's very good at is his predatory instincts. He's very good at picking out, small things, and then he just pounces. And he does it very methodically. Like if you watch him, like later we'll talk about this when we introduce another character to this. But he's grooming this decoy. And the sad thing is that in the past, it later comes out that he was grooming, actual teenage girls, and
before the sting and stuff.
Before the sting, there was actually an interview, like a phone interview, his brother was getting catfished, his older brother, and his brother said that they had a conversation with him, like, you need to stop talking to kids online, you're gonna go to jail. So the reaction with his family when he got arrested, they weren't surprised because they just had this conversation with him, like, look, you can't talk to kids. So it was two girls. I'm not even gonna say their names because they were underage. But yeah, it was two girls. One of them was having issues with her alcoholic father, and then Lorne immediately pounced on her, and he would call her at night, very drunk, screaming at her, demanding things from her, and telling her things like basically like, they don't care about you, I care about you, the traditional like predatory shit. Another girl, she was having issues at school with like boys and stuff like that. And then he was just kind of like being nice to her, and he was like telling her because she said that they think she's ugly, and he's like, you're beautiful, and all kinds of things. Then he demanded like naked photographs and like for her to expose herself to him on cam, just things like that. So this guy's a legit predator. So and there was an argument that they had about him, and I disagree with this argument because I've heard a lot of people repeat it, saying like, if he was smart, he'd be dangerous. And this is a very lonely individual that takes anything that he can. He's predatory. He's opportunistic, just like a dog. So the fact that he's so stupid is what makes him dangerous. That's why he pounces on children and people that are not, mentally there, because if he was smarter, he would target women, because obviously, they would be younger women, like in her 20s, because he's a pervert, but they would not be children or mentally disabled people,
I think it's just that he relates more to children, first of all, because that's just what he likes, because he's a pervert, but also because he's stupid.
Yeah, he's emotionally stunted. Like all of his feelings are very teenager like.
Yeah, very childish.
So anyway, so he goes to the sting. He gets confronted, right, for being there. He gets shown his chat log, and he proceeds to, just like Dustin, he's like, he kind of shrinks a little bit, and like Lorne, he goes into cry mode. He starts, talking about, this is what I was afraid of, and then instead of him saying like, I can't believe I was preying on a girl, he was like, I wasted time on the internet talking to women that weren't real. And then he proceeds to tell this story about this lady that catfished him. And then the host, Chris Hansen, said, just because you were taken advantage by women makes it right for you to take advantage of a young girl. Because instead of taking responsibility, he just pins it on everybody else. So it's not his fault, it's everybody else's fault why he's such a predator. So that conversation ended. Do you have the down, get down? Sheriff's office, down! Get down! So down, get down. He gets arrested. So he gets interrogated. He proceeds, and this is how stupid he is, by the way. He proceeds to incriminate himself. The whole time he proceeds to incriminate himself, and he gives into everything. After he's done telling them that yes, it was him on camera, this were his intentions, this was the girl, this is the girl he was chatting with, he had sexual conversations with her. After all of that, he says, I have an attorney. After all, so he fucked himself, right?
Yeah.
So
honestly, good.
Yeah.
I advise, normal people to not speak if you don't want to, incriminate yourself. But if you're a pedophile or a pervert, go ahead.
Yeah, just go ahead and talk. Tell him everything. So he ends up asking for a lawyer. He goes to prison. He gets 7 years, but has to serve 5, which to me is fucking ridiculous. He took a plea deal because he was actually facing 20 years in prison due to, his attempt at this of producing child pornography, because he
Mhm.
talked in the chat about taking pictures of her, and then in a phone call, it is revealed that his lawyer just kind of like, we could take this to trial, whatever. He would have the camera, and you had the, whatever. And then he was like, I was trying to pawn it. He says, and I just told him, like, yeah, like, I don't even need my camera because I have my cell phone with me and I can take pictures. Destroys his defense, and they're like, just take the fucking plea deal. So he took the plea deal, so he would have been in prison for over 20 years. So that's what happened. And instead of him, taking this time to reflect on all the things that he did wrong, like, fuck, like, I need help, I need some serious he spent it writing a shitty book. He spent it writing a shitty diary, blaming the system and how it's corrupt, and because of money he was put in prison, not because he was trying to, just stupid shit, right? It's not because he was trying to, abuse a girl. It was because, the system is corrupt and they wanted to make money, and that's the reason why he went to prison. And while he's in prison, he writes a poem to a female guard. Like, he doesn't learn his lesson, right? He lacks impulse control, which is what makes him dangerous. That's actually a tribute of a stupid person. So he proceeds to write a love letter to a prison guard. She turns him in, and he goes to the hole. So it's like, even after you're here for being a pedophile, you still don't learn your lesson. And you see this pattern. He just goes on and doesn't learn his lesson. And for those of you that don't know, like, in the prison system, especially a federal prison, which he was in, people like to talk about how he was in class. He was like, he's been in class for fucking 10 years, rape class, and he could never pass it. Technically, right? Technically, he was in rape class for 15 years, because I don't know if you guys know this, but when you're in a federal prison for a sexual crime, you have to take mandatory, counseling in there. They put you in a little group. It's like an hour. You sit there, and then they kind of like treat you like, what did you do wrong? Blah, 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 blah. So he was, this 5 years, he was attending a sort of rape class in there, gets out, doesn't learn a damn thing, and it just goes on. So when people are like, he was in there for 10 years, he was in fucking rape class for 15 years because he had to take some kind of counseling in prison.
And it was like Dustin McFetridge. He just didn't believe that he did anything wrong.
Not only that, but he would laugh at it. And
yeah, that's why they don't learn. Is like, they don't think that they're doing anything wrong when they're talking to these children that, by the way, sound very much. The one that Lorne was talking to sounded like a toddler.
So I always have a hard time listening to this because it does sound like a child, and then it makes me very murderous.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have those calls?
Yeah.
Just to get the gist of it, like, this is who he thought he was talking to, by the way.
Ugh. Okay, this is the very first one.
Hello.
Hello?
Hi.
Hey.
You sound so sweet.
Thank you.
Are you nervous about talking to me?
Yeah.
You don't have to be. Hi.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Did your phone die on you or something?
I didn't know if you hung up on me or not, so I don't know what happened.
I didn't hang up on you. I wouldn't hang up on you.
See, so
Promise?
really quick.
I promise.
So you could tell that he dumbs down his language for a child. So he's talking to her, and he's talking to her the way that you would talk to a niece or a daughter, just a young child, right? And then he begins to, groom her over the phone too. Like she said, I thought you hung up on me. He's like, I would never hang up on you, and so he does these things where there even comes a time in the call, I don't know if it's in this, but he begins to mimic her reactions. Like the way that you do with a little kid, like when they say something, it's adorable, you repeat it. Play the rest.
4
Beef
minutes.
tips.
You're too much of a sweetheart. My precious little princess.
I like it when you call me that.
I like calling you that. I like calling you my little baby girl, too. So how was school today? You sound so sweet.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
so
you for
welcome.
letting me call.
Huh?
Thank you for letting me call.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you for calling. Oh, my God, you are so pretty. I love your eyes.
So he does this thing where you've heard him talk, right? And you know the way he talks, the way that he talks to not just a little later, you'll find the way he talks to somebody who he believes is mentally challenged. You know, he does this thing where he like lowers his vocabulary and he talks to them like a child. Just like right now, he's really excited. Like when he first heard that voice, any normal human being would be like, "Oh, what the fuck?" Like, but instead, like it excited him. You sound so sweet, and immediately like it perks him up. Like, holy shit, like because he has what he wants. So anyway, the phone calls are fucking disgusting. You guys can listen to them if you want. He even sings to this girl and he does all these things, right? So he does his time. He goes to prison. It's the decoys. So it's all these fucking people. I didn't do anything wrong, right? They lured me. And he made up every fucking excuse in the book, right? And how he said he didn't want to go there, even though he's been, those of you that are familiar with the chat log, he's been planning it for a month, doing those things, asking questions. Is there woods by your house? Will your parents be gone? Da, 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 da. And he's planning kidnapping her and all these things. Didn't have enough gas to get there, so he said he was just staring at eventually he said that he was just like looking at the fuel gauge because it was like empty, and he's like, fuck, I'm not gonna make it. So it was, man, it's so gross because this person is very methodical with his things. So anyway, proceeds to blame everybody else. He ends up getting a YouTube channel, makes one because he believes, because a catfish now has gotten a hold of him, and that he has fans and he should tell his side of the story of what happened. So, of course, everything that led up to this, the chat, the decoy, all these things, it's not his fault. This is what you see. There's a pattern. So then eventually when he realizes that this story doesn't work, he changes the story. It's something else. When that story no longer works, he changes it. So he changes it almost a little bit with people that he like, almost like every new, and it's kind of stupid until we explain it, but every new character that comes into his life and he's having a conversation with and he believes that he has a romantic relationship with them, he changes the story based on their personality. So it, again, very predatory. And this motherfucker, man, he's so lucky. Like he has like a horseshoe shoved up his ass.
I don't understand how he has done, like everything that he's done.
And he's not dead. No one's killed him.
No, nobody's killed him. He's kind of just, he's not living like well or anything, but he's
to
alive.
himself he is.
Yeah, to himself.
Because he's like a roach. I mean, he was living in this apartment with nothing. Okay, so like I said earlier, that this is an individual that doesn't take responsibility because he doesn't feel that he did anything wrong. And if there is a hint that he did anything wrong, like even for a second where it's like, well, maybe this was fucked up, it's not his fault. Like he had no choice. So there's this guy that goes on his channel. And I'm going to just say his name. It's Shin's Koala. And then that guy said the funniest shit. How he said, imagine if Lorne was in school and they ran out of mac and cheese. He'd probably fucking come back and shoot up the school. So anyway. So, yeah. So play the reason why he went to the Sting.
Such good reasons.
Hello, everyone. I told everybody that I would... tell them about my past. I'll tell you all about my past. I've decided that I'm not going to tell you all about my past. I will give you an example of the 5 years before I got incarcerated.
He looks like
before I got.
Do you remember those trolls that had like the hair and they're like stand up?
Mm-hmm.
He looks like one of those if a kid took a magnifying glass and you started to like melt half of the face.
You know what? I saw a TikTok. This girl is like buying these weird, ugly dolls, and they look like him. I'm gonna try to find it, and I'll put a picture.
Okay.
Those trolls, though, when I was a baby, that's how my hair was. It's crazy. I don't know why.
Involved in the Sting. I realize I do not need to tell anybody. I really don't owe anybody an explanation. All right. This example is one of the things that had happened to me that made it so I couldn't. Well, that was part of why I couldn't think straight. One of my siblings. Well, see, I idolized some of my siblings and some others also, and I never should have done that, and I certainly don't idolize them now. But this example is probably one of the most disgusting to me. One of my siblings needed some work done on the house, and so I had a septic business at the time, and I was making good money, and so I took my crew up to their house, up to my sibling's house, and did $700 worth of work on their house, including paying the crew and all that. And I told them it was a Christmas present, and if they want to give me a Christmas present back, then they can give me make me some macaroni and cheese. There's some homemade macaroni and cheese that they made. And I did the same for another sibling. Went up to their house and I did $700 worth of work, including paying for my crew and even using some of the materials that I had and all that. And I told them if they wanted to, the same thing, that it was a Christmas present. If they wanted to give me a Christmas present back, they can make me some deviled eggs. And then another sibling, I gave $425 to for heating oil, and told them that if they want to give me it was a Christmas present. If they want to give me a Christmas present back, they can make me some of their homemade meatballs. And I never saw the meatballs. I never saw the deviled eggs, and I never saw the macaroni and cheese until the following year. My sibling.
All right.
I just remembered the whole. You remember? Hey, I didn't get any stuffed peppers. Let's go kick a kid's head in.
I mean, it's upsetting. She doesn't know animals are good.
Down with macaroni, with a pot of macaroni and cheese, and asked me to borrow $500 so they could get Christmas presents for the kids. So I gave them $500 so that way the kids could get Christmas presents. And I told her, the same thing, just make me another thing of macaroni and cheese. And to this day, I've never seen the macaroni and cheese. And I told them, don't make it take a year. Well, they didn't make it take a year because they still haven't gotten it. So it's been way over a year. Whatever. I don't want the macaroni and cheese now anyway.
Oh boy.
But that there is an example.
So that's the reason. That's why he did it, right? He went and he didn't get macaroni and cheese, and that's why he did this. Put back the chat log.
That's why he did this. That's why he acted this way towards a child. This is after he went out drinking.
Yep, drinking.
Said the night before, I think he had to go to a job interview. Was this today?
Yeah, he had to go to a job interview. I think he told her to wake him up or something.
Mm-hmm. She didn't.
And also days before, he had gotten a credit card. So I'm assuming that because I think he talked about he maxed it out like already, and it had only been, so he probably happened that night. Probably was like, beers on me, Anyway, around for everybody, except for the guys. Anyway, so I have to put the can down at my penis, baby. I look like shit.
You look fine. They got friends here tonight. Who has? Oh, the parents. Okay.
Yeah. I look like shit, and I don't want you to see me looking like shit.
I don't care.
Are you sure?
Yes.
It bothers me when I look like shit. When you see me, I look really bad.
Oh, you don't look that bad. That bad. You look bad, just not that bad.
Yeah. Do you want to look at my penis? Oh, my face.
Your face.
I'm still here, precious. Oh, no, it gets worse.
No, it gets much worse. You ready?
Yeah. I'm eating a bite of a slice of pizza, and I don't think it's a very good idea for me to do it. Testicle mouth.
What happened to you? Why are you so sick?
Can I give the rest of this pizza to Bud right now, please? I can't eat it.
Yeah. LOL.
Look, he made a mess on my boxes.
LOL. Ugh. All right.
You're his mommy, so I'm blaming it on you.
LOL. Nope, not me. I didn't do it.
You told me I could give it to him, so it's your fault. So, either you clean up the mess, or you...
She just says LOL because what is a child supposed
Yeah,
to
what are you supposed to say to that?
like? She just says LOL.
Which is it?
What you think?
I don't know. You have to tell me.
Whatever you want.
Tell me what you want. Either you clean up the mess, or you suck. Which one? So, his siblings, obviously, not giving him Christmas presents or the meatballs or all that gay cafeteria shit, pushed him. What?
Deviled eggs. How many deviled eggs?
I hope that you think that. Do you think that they? Okay, a couple things. Okay, number one, when he said $700 worth of work, you later will kind of understand like what he means by that kind of stuff. That means he priced it himself. That doesn't mean that he spent $700 on material because
that was the price of material. It was price of labor.
And he gave it to his crew. So, and he said with some materials that I had. So where he gets materials from.
He gets it from the dump.
From the dump. So he himself, he's like, I priced it myself. He probably did shitty work. Like, fuck this dude. She probably was gonna take the deviled eggs and microwave them and then like record him while he bites into one. By the way, have you seen that when they do that as a prank to people?
Yeah,
that's horrible.
Crazy. Yeah,
I
can't imagine pranking somebody like that. Because if that were to happen to you, just like naturally, if you were stupid enough to microwave an egg, don't microwave boiled eggs, by the way. If you were stupid enough to microwave an egg and take a bite, that would suck really bad. But then to knowingly do that to somebody is insane.
No, so I had a friend who did that. He microwaved the boiled egg, and then he got it out of the microwave, and he dropped it, and it landed on his foot, and it exploded, and they gave him really bad burns.
Well, at least it landed on his foot and not on his face.
So when you watch those videos where they're like, and they like give somebody a boiled egg and they bite it and pop, and then explodes and they're like holding on to the face and they're laughing. And it's usually people when they laugh that I'm gonna give you a hint of the type of people that did it, but when the egg explodes and burns their face, they tend to like dance and as their white mom has her face burnt, and then they were about to yell for their dad, but then they remembered that he wasn't there. Anyway, so
100% Lorne would prank somebody by microwaving it.
He would prank somebody by pouring boiling water on them. And just like,
not the pranks I would like to do, but
yeah, to his grandmother, to his mom actually. So anyway, so all of that leads to this. And if you guys think that so far this is fucking ridiculous and disgusting, because it is, he gets worse. Worse. So
and it gets more ridiculous.
And it gets more ridiculous. So this is the appetizer.
Oh boy.
Memphis barbecue. Anyway, so that's part one of this, the introduction. So next week we're gonna get a little deeper on this whole thing. So anyway, this episode was brought to you by My Haunted Backroads. I think he changed the name of his channel, didn't he? So Sean Burris and My Haunted Backroads. Remember, America, I'm not getting older. I'm just getting better. Also by Paranormal Unveiled, Nate Static Voices, and his book, Downloading Maine's Most Sexiest Ghost Stories. So check him out. Static Voices on TikTok, Paranormal Unveiled on Facebook. Good stuff. Great person. I'm going to unbox his book when I get it in. It's autographed. I think he drew like boobs in it. I don't know. Also by Render the Darkness. Now they do this. The Darkness.
Oh, change it up a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. Oh, a little ghost there for you. Also, like and subscribe on YouTube. Also brought to you by Dreamscape Chronicles. Check out those sexy people. So Dreamscape Chronicles on Spotify. Great stories, great history. And TeePublic. Check out our merch. Get yourself a shirt. Get yourself a pair of socks. Oh, it's all fantastic. And that's it, guys. And remember to look both ways, especially when you're butthole naked in Maine.
Oh.